The friendship between the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills personalities Mauricio Umansky and Paul P.K. Kemsley continues to shine. Despite the personal changes both are navigating, the two longtime friends showed their support for one another once again when PK attended a private celebration for Mauricio's newest professional milestone. This week, Mauricio, founder of the agency, marked the official release of his style collaboration with Aries Soho, titled ARIX Mauricio Umansky. The launch was announced on November 19, describing the line as built on authentic friendship, a sentiment that felt especially true when PK appeared at the intimate gathering held at the ARI Beverly Hills store. Several members of Mauricio and Kyle Richards' family joined the celebration, including Alexia Umansky, Sofia Umansky, Portia Umansky, and Farrah Brittany Aljufri. The room also saw familiar Bravo figures such as The Valley's Jess Alali, Shahs of Sunset alum Reza Farahan, who is set to return in the new spin-off The Valley, Persian Style, and $1 Million Listing Los Angeles star Tracy Tudor, who recently filmed with Mauricio at ARI's Miami boutique. PK later shared a message online expressing his gratitude for being part of the event. Glad to show support. The collection looks incredible. Miami, NYC, LA, maybe London soon, he added. A look inside Mauricio and PK's long-standing bond. Mauricio and PK have built a close friendship over the years, one filled with shared experiences, family moments, and plenty of humor. From birthday trips to Las Vegas adventures, the two have never been shy about showing how much they value each other. In August, Mauricio traveled to London to celebrate PK's 58th birthday. The small gathering included some of PK's closest companions, like Boy George and Clark Datchler, known for his work with the band Johnny Hates Jazz. PK opened up about their strong connection during a March conversation with the B&B. "We were already close," he explained. "It's not about life changes happening at the same time. We've always had a real friendship. But yes, having someone who understands certain challenges definitely helps. When things are being discussed publicly, it can feel overwhelming, and having someone who can relate makes a big difference." Mauricio stands up for PK in the new RHOBH Season 15 preview. With Season 15 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills approaching, it seems Mauricio's loyalty to PK will be front and center. In the newly released trailer, viewers get a glimpse of a tense exchange between Mauricio and Dorit Kemsley, where she voices concerns involving PK and their children, Jagger and Phoenix. "He's never reached out to check in," Dorit says in the preview. Mauricio replies, "I'm hearing different things from different people." The trailer promises an in-depth look at what both families have been facing over the past year. Mauricio and Kyle publicly announced changes in their relationship in October 2023, while Dorit and PK shared their update 7 months later. Season 15 is expected to address the shifts within both households, offering viewers new insight into where everyone stands today. And although Mauricio has been open about the difficulties he's experienced, he recently spoke about why he still feels grateful for the life he built with Kyle, a topic sure to resonate with many longtime fans. Mauricio's celebration that night wasn't just about a clothing launch. It became a reminder of how deeply rooted his friendships are, especially at a time when life has been anything but simple. The evening carried a warm, upbeat energy, and people in the room couldn't help but notice how naturally Mauricio's circle seemed to rally around him. It wasn't a flashy affair. Instead, it felt like a gathering of people who had genuinely seen each other through every chapter, both lighthearted and difficult. PK's arrival brought an immediate sense of humor and comfort to the space. The two men greeted each other the way long-term friends do, with a mix of teasing, laughter, and familiarity. Guests shared how refreshing it was to watch an event filled with genuine connection, rather than forced red carpet interactions. Mauricio thanked PK in front of the group, noting how much it meant to have support from people who knew him before the cameras started rolling and before life became so public. Throughout the evening, Mauricio took time to talk to everyone, showing off pieces from the new collection and explaining the inspiration behind the designs. He mentioned that the collaboration wasn't about chasing a trend, but about capturing a lifestyle, something relaxed, clean, and timeless. Several attendees tried on jackets, shirts, and accessories, and it became clear that Mauricio's hands-on approach was part of the reason the line felt so personal. He wasn't simply lending his name, he had spent months refining every detail with airy Soho. Meanwhile, PK wandered around the store with a mix of fatherly pride and good-natured mischief. At one point, he jokingly pretended to model a jacket while Reza Farahan cheered him on, creating one of the lightest and funniest moments of the night. "Can you imagine me walking a runway?" PK laughed as people nearby pulled out their phones. Farah, Alexia, Sofia, and Portia spent the evening chatting with guests and supporting their dad, a quiet reminder of how close the Umansky-Richards family remains despite the changes in their household. Their presence seemed to ground Mauricio, and he frequently glanced their way with an expression that blended gratitude and admiration. A friendship that has weathered real life. Over the past year, the public has witnessed Mauricio and PK experience personal changes that would be difficult for anyone, let alone people whose lives are regularly spotlighted on reality television. Yet through all the ups and downs, their friendship has remained a constant. Industry insiders often describe their bond as brotherly, built on years of working in adjacent fields, navigating fame, and learning to handle the pressures that come with it. Friends close to them say that what makes their relationship so strong is that they don't rely on grand gestures. Instead, they show up in the small, everyday ways. A phone call when things get overwhelming, a quick lunch when schedules line up, a shared joke when tension needs breaking. Even during times when they had their own families to focus on, they stayed connected. When Mauricio flew to London in August for PK's birthday, it felt like a full-circle moment. Photos from the night show them laughing with Boy George and other longtime friends, completely at ease. That trip, PK later shared, was less about the milestone number and more about being surrounded by people who had been there through every phase of his life. "It wasn't about a big party," he said. "It was about being with the ones who understand your journey." Season 15 tension adds new layers to their dynamic. With the new season approaching, viewers are already buzzing about the brief but striking exchanges shown in the latest preview. The scenes hint that Mauricio may step into a more protective role, especially when it comes to PK, who has been navigating more scrutiny than usual. Their dynamic, always loyal, often playful, now appears to have added emotional weight. The trailer captures one of the most talked-about moments, Mauricio calmly responding to Dorit's concerns and offering his perspective without escalating the situation. While he doesn't take sides, he does something equally meaningful: he listens. His measured reaction surprised some viewers who expected a more defensive stance, but it reflects the maturity both men have been striving to maintain while facing personal challenges. Behind the scenes, sources say that Mauricio and PK talked extensively during the filming period, often checking in on each other after long days or emotionally heavy conversations. They understood that certain moments would end up on television, but their priority remained keeping their families steady and their friendship intact. Navigating change with grace. In recent interviews, Mauricio has made it clear that he's approaching this stage of his life with a mixture of reflection and appreciation. He's spoken openly about how much he values the history he shares with Kyle, and how committed he is to keeping their family strong, even as things evolve. His comments about feeling thankful for her touched many fans, who saw it as a sign that he's choosing to move with grace rather than bitterness. PK, similarly, has focused on growth, clarity, and creating a stable environment for his children. Although he has remained private about many details, he has used moments like Mauricio's launch event to show that friendships, work, and family are still at the center of his life. Where the story goes next. As the season unfolds, viewers will likely see more of Mauricio and PK leaning on one another, not just in playful moments, but in the more emotional ones as well. Their friendship has become a quiet anchor in a world where personal matters often become public discussion. And if the fashion launch was any indication, Mauricio is stepping into this new chapter with a renewed sense of confidence and support. From his daughters, from colleagues, and yes, from PK. The evening wasn't about headlines. It was about people who genuinely care for one another showing up when it counts. Whether fans tune in for the fashion, the friendships, or the heartfelt moments, one thing is clear. The bond between Mauricio and PK isn't going anywhere. In fact, it seems to be growing stronger.